Hey YouTube, it's Sarah here with Crimson and Wool, and I am going to share with you my first tutorial using the larger doll pattern. This measures about 9 to 10 inches depending on the features. It could measure longer depending on if you were to create this and make a bunny out of it, which could be done. But for this tutorial, we will be doing this cute bear. So I thought it'd be fun, instead of just doing a basic doll body, to use the doll body pattern, but then just add little features to make this just a cute little fun tutorial on how to make a bear. Especially with Valentine's Day coming up, you could put a little heart here and then stitch that with the hands holding it. You could add a bow tie. You could add bows here to the ears and add some blush to make her a cute little girl. There's a lot you could do with this pattern, but for today we will go ahead and just learn how to do this one. So the supplies that you will need to make this is a worsted weight 4-ply yarn. I use Caron 1 pound. Everything will be linked in the description box below. You're going to need some polyfill to stuff your doll, some scissors. Of course, you're going to need your 4mm crochet hook. I use the Susan Bates. You're going to need a stitch marker. I use the bobby pin. You'll need a yarn needle, darning needle, to sew in your ends, and then you're going to need 12mm safety eyes. So that is the main things that you will need to create this cute little bear. And so if you would like to do that, then please continue watching. Let's get started. So we are going to start with the legs, and you are going to make 2. So the pattern calls for 5 single crochets into the magic circle. So that is round 1. Pull your tail. So round 2 is 2 single crochets into each stitch all the way around. That is your single crochet increase. So you work 2 of them, and that's going to give you a total of 10 single crochets for round 2. And at this point, I just want to get this out of the way. So I'm going to tie it like 2 times and get it out of the way. And snip it off. Round 3 is another increase round. Work 1 single crochet into the first stitch, place your marker, and then 2 into the next, which is your single crochet increase. And that's the pattern repeat. 1 single crochet, a single crochet increase, and at the end of the round you should have a total of 15 single crochets. We're moving on to round 4, and that's going to simply be 1 single crochet into each stitch, but you want to do it into the back loop only. So we have our stitch right here, you have your little V, and you're going to work your stitch into the back loop only. And that's into every stitch. So it's still a count of 15 single crochets, but working them into the back loop. Round 5, we're going to do some decreasing to create a foot. Work 1 single crochet into the first 3 stitches, and then you're going to do 5 single crochet decreases. So to work those, you work a decrease into the front loop only of the next 2 stitches, you pull up a loop, and then you pull through both loops that are remaining on your hook. So go ahead and repeat that 4 more times. For a total of 5 single crochet decreases. You should have a remainder of 2 stitches for the row or the round, and then you work 1 single crochet into the remaining 2 stitches. So now you should have a total of 10 stitches. Round 6 through 15 is 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. That is 10 rounds total. So I work about 4 or 5 rounds and then I start stuffing. Go ahead and continue working your 10 rounds of single crochet and stuffing along as you go. Okay, so we're going to finish off the leg. All right, so just go ahead and do a loose slip stitch. You're going to grab your scissors and cut off, just leaving just a few inches. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your hook and you're going to pull that tail end into the leg, and you'll just stuff the remainder in the leg. So now we have the legs done, and we are going to join them to start the body. So what I like to do is I like to bring the legs together and make sure that the feet area is facing forward. So the main thing is you don't want to just do them anyway, and then when you put them together, you could see that like this leg is like as if it was like off to the side. Although if you want to do that, you totally can. But I like to have them facing forward, so then I hold them and just make sure that it's similar in the back. And then to join, we are going to take our hook and insert it into one of the stitches on the first leg and then bring it through the next leg. And so at that point, we have our legs joined together, and we are going to take our yarn and join them. So to do that, single crochet, and I pull the tail end to make it tight. And now I'm going to start working around this area. So we have 10 single crochets on each leg, and then we are simply going to work 20 single crochets evenly around to create the body. So we are doing our first single crochet. Remember to place your stitch marker. This is pretty important so that you get the same amount of stitches all the way around. This is where we did our join. So this is still going to allow me to work into this stitch. Then you continue to work 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. Just count your stitches. You just want to make sure you have a total of 20 stitches at the end of the round. So this is round 16. 16 is our joining round to start the body. So at this point, if we were to do a single crochet right here and right there where we did our join, it technically would add stitches. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do a single crochet into this stitch right here. So go ahead and continue working. And then at the end, just count your stitches to make sure that you have a total of 20. Rounds 17 through 25, which is 9 rounds total. That's going to be 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. So it's really easy. Go ahead and work your 9 rounds, and that will bring us to the end of round 25, and I'll come back and start round 26 with you. So just work 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around for 9 rounds. Also, at about round 20, you could start stuffing this leg area, so I'll meet you back for that. So before I continue working on the body portion torso area, I want to stuff these leg areas, specifically like right in here, really well without overstuffing. And so I'll show you what I do. I do use some sharp scissors for this because I feel like when I do that and I open them, it creates like a felting with the stuffing, but just be careful. I'm not recommending anyone to do this. You could poke yourself, cut yourself, but just be careful while doing this. But I do find that it helps with creating like a felting in the stuffing. So I feel like this is a pretty like jointed area for the doll. So what I'll do is I'll take a little bit of stuffing and I will push it to the side that I want to work on, and I stuff in, let me see, sorry, I'm going to try to do this so that you can see. It's normally not the way I hold it. And I just kind of stuff. So now I'm working in this area, and I'll just continue to work. I've completed round 25, so now we are going to do round 26. So we are going to do a decrease. We're going to decrease over all the stitches. So that will be a total of 10 decreases, giving us a remaining stitch count of 10 single crochets for round 26. So we have made this shoulder area and decreased. Now we're going to increase, and this is going to create the head. So we are going to work 2 single crochets into each stitch. So this is a total of 10 increases all the way around. So 2 single crochets into each stitch, giving you a total stitch count of 20 single crochets for round 27. Round 28, we have another increase, 1 single crochet into the first stitch and 2 single crochets into the next. That is the pattern repeat. You will repeat that all the way around, and you should have a total of 30 single crochets. On 29, this is the last increase round. The pattern repeat is 1 single crochet into the next 5 stitches, and then a single crochet increase. That's the pattern repeat, and that will give you a total of 35 stitches for round 29. Rounds 30 through 34 is 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. That's a total of 5 rounds. So go ahead and work up the next 5 rounds, and I will meet you back to start round 35. Working round 35, you're going to single crochet 1 into the next 5 stitches. So 5 single crochet, and then a single crochet decrease. So that is the pattern repeat, and you're going to have a total of 30 stitches for the round. So let's place the safety eyes before we continue on to round 36. So you place the safety eyes between row 32 and 33, but what I like to do is just count up from when I started the increase to between 6 and 7. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I know that I want to place it between these 2 stitches, but if you work better, that's between rounds 32 and 33. I take my eye and I find my center point, then I go over just a few stitches, and then I put one eye. Now I want them to be about 6 stitches apart. And then at this point, I just want to go ahead and make sure that the eyes look nice and even, and I feel good about that. And then I'm going to secure the backings on. So at this point, I'm going to stuff the neck area, and go ahead and I'll have you do that as well. Round 36, you are going to work 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around for a total of 30 single crochets. So for round 37, we are going to do 1 single crochet. This will be a decrease round again, into the next 3 stitches, and then decrease. So that's the pattern repeat, 3 single crochets, a single crochet decrease, and repeat that all the way around. So before we continue to decrease, go ahead and stuff the head just a little bit more. Starting round 38, you're going to work 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches, then a decrease, a single crochet decrease. That's the pattern repeat, a single crochet into the next 2 stitches and a decrease. And you should have a total of 18 single crochets for round 38. Round 39 will be 1 single crochet and then a single crochet decrease. You will repeat that all the way around, and your stitch count should be 12 at the end of round 39. Round 40 will be a single crochet decrease into each stitch around. Make sure you cut off a long enough tail to close the hole shut and do details. So go ahead and get your yarn needle, and we are going to close this shut. I have also went ahead and finished stuffing. And then what we are going to do is take our yarn needle and we're going to decrease like as if we were with a hook. So you're going to take the needle and wrap it around 2 stitches and pull through. And just go ahead and do that all the way around. And this will be as if we were decreasing the top. So we're not putting any hair on this one. So we want to go ahead and make sure that we close it off nice and neat. Now, since it's not starting like this, it isn't going to be exactly like this where the stitches are really tight, but that's okay. So go ahead and let's work our yarn down over to the eyes. And so this is kind of the same process as we do with the Baby Yoda. So take your yarn, bring it to the center of this eye. We want to push these eyes back into the head a bit. So I have this doll, which I'll show you guys I have a pattern for as well, which will be a part of it. So as you could tell here, the eyes compared to this are pushed down into the head, which kind of adds just a little bit of features there. So we'll take it and we will insert the needle. If I say hook, I'm so sorry. I know I can do that, but just push it through to the back of the head and then pull your yarn, and then I just pull it in like that. And so I like to give this one good and tight, but you don't want to break your yarn, so just be careful of that. Make sure you insert your needle again through the same hole that you came out of and work it around to the other side over here. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put my needle directly through and pull. So the eyes on this doll are probably 1 stitch wider from this doll, but since this is an animal and we're going to put a little like snout or nose, it's a little further apart to add room for that. So depending on what you're going to make, I would just think about that when you are placing your eyes. And I'm just fixing back here. So then there we go. We have our eyes placed where we'd like them. So now we'll move on to the arms and the ears. Just go ahead and work your tail back and forth through the head and then cut your yarn off. Start with a magic circle and work 5 single crochets into that magic circle. That's round 1. Round 2 will be 2 single crochets into each stitch all the way around. That first stitch is always the worst. Round 3 and 4 will be 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. And you will maintain a total of 10 stitches. Go ahead and place your stitch markers so you don't forget. Note, before I finish off round 3, I went ahead and tied a knot. It turned out a little wonky that time, but and then I cut the tail just to kind of get it out of the way. Round 5 will be a decrease round. We only need to take away 2 stitches. So you're going to single crochet into the first 3 stitches and decrease over the next. And then you will repeat that. 1 single crochet into the next 3 stitches and a decrease into the last 2. And then you should have a total of 8 stitches remaining for the end of round 5. Round 6 through 15 will be 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. Okay, so before you continue on though, I've done a few more rounds. You want to stuff the hand so that you don't have to stuff once you've completed all 15 rounds. So just go ahead and stuff the hand a bit. And I stuff up to right about here on the arm. So go ahead and crochet up, but get this part going first. And then before we close off, just make sure that it's stuffed here. I stuff more in the hand and then gradually not stuff as much in this area. Because when you lay it flat on the body, you don't want this part to be overstuffed. And then it's kind of like, it just looks weird. It looks better if the arm is kind of thinner up here and then the stuffing's mainly in this area. hope that helps. So go ahead and work that up. This is the length that the arm should look. So we had our increase to make a little hand area. We decreased and then we narrowed down for the arm. So it's a total of 15 rounds. So finish that up and I will meet you back to do the closure. So let's go ahead and sew our arms onto the body. We've made both arms. And also, I'm sorry, the lighting's probably changing a lot throughout this video just because it's taken me a few days to create it. So depending on the time of day, the lighting is different. Also, it's overcast today. So go ahead and get your yarn needle. And then we are going to grab one of our arms and we are gonna place it on the side of the body, even with the leg, like right here. And then I'm going to attach the arm there. So I'm going to bring my needle in through here, holding the arm down still, and then pull tight. And then I'm going to take my needle and come into this side of the arm and pull that yarn through and bring my yarn back into this part of the arm here and push it through the body. And that should attach the arm. So turn the arm over, or turn your doll over, and then make sure that when you're gonna come back up to continue attaching, that you insert your needle through the same area that you brought it out of. Now I'm taking this needle and I'm bringing it through up into this section so that I could connect this middle part to the body. And then I'm gonna bring that through this part of the arm right here. And then I'm gonna push it back down into the arm. Now, I just feel like all you're hearing is push this that way, bring it back down. So you're basically just sewing the arm onto the body. Whichever way you feel comfortable sewing the arm onto the body, please feel free to do that. I'm just gonna show you how I do it and I'll just talk you through it as best I can. So again, I'm going to move this part of the needle up into this part of the arm and pull through, and then I'm gonna come back down into the body right here. And we have our arm on. So we've attached both arms, and then I just like to sew back and forth the tail ends just a little bit throughout the body and then cut them off to ensure that they are secure. All right, let's go ahead and do the nose. So go ahead and get some black yarn and attach it to your yarn needle. And then we are going to bring it through to this middle portion of the eyes. So about right here, there's a few stitches we want to work over. So what I like to do is first create an upside down triangle. So to do that, I'm going to go over right here and then come down right here. And then I will bring the yarn up right here and come back around to this side. Oops, we got attached to that arm there. And then back down here. And then now I'm just gonna simply start stitching around this area. So there is gonna be stuffing that comes out with this, and just take it off as you go. And to create the nose. So I'm just stitching over. Just following this triangular, this upside down triangular shape. And then I'm going to cross over this way to kind of clean up that edge. Just bring it down anywhere over this area. So we have our little nose shape, and now we want to make our little mouth area. So to do that, it's pretty easy. Just come to the center point right here, and then line it up to see if that looks good for you. And then just bring your yarn needle through the base right there to create a little line. Don't forget to add your eyebrows. All right, making the ears, go ahead and work 6 single crochets into a magic circle. Round 2 will be 2 single crochets into each stitch all the way around. Rounds 3 through 5 is 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. So I've completed round 5. Round 6 is going to be a decrease round. Go ahead and work 1 single crochet into the first stitch, and then a single crochet into the next, and then work a decrease, a single crochet decrease into the third. Go ahead and repeat that, 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches, and a decrease over the following, and then repeating that one more time. And that should leave you with a total of 9 stitches. At this point, we are going to press down and close the ear up, and we are going to work 4 single crochets evenly across both of these. So joining both sides together, work 4 single crochets across. And then you can remove your stitch marker. And you are going to make 2 of these, and I will meet you back so that we could sew them onto the head. So let's place the ears. The biggest thing is when I'm sewing it on, the front part, I'm sewing just through this stitch right here. And then as I work to the back, I do the same process on this back stitch. So you can get some sewing needles, some pins, and place it and pin it into place. I'm just gonna go ahead and position where I feel like is a good position and go for it. So we have one ear on. This ear came out a little bigger than I was hoping, but it's okay. We're gonna go for it. Weave this back and forth and cut off my end. And we're going to repeat this process on this side. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed making it as much as I did. This is the base pattern for my large doll, so any of the large dolls that I do in the future will be this pattern. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. That way you can be notified anytime I come out with a new video. And with that, I look forward to crocheting with you guys next time. Thanks.